we are.
And I respect your choices. Alright, here we go. One of the most beloved CRPGs ever. Yeah, I mean, hey, again, I respect anybody with that opinion. I have a thing against, like, hunger and thirst meters in games. I just don't have the attention span for it. And that's on me. That is totally just, like, I don't have the capacity to pay that much attention to all those systems. But the fact that they do exist allows for, like, a deeper play experience for a lot of people. So I can totally get by that. I am glad, however, that you got all of the DLC, because that is one thing that I actually never got to experience, was, like, Old World Blues and Lonesome Road and stuff like that. Which, as I understand it, is, like, the bulk of like, the story.
This is gonna be weird.
What's the deal?
Just bad controls.
Do you usually play with controller on these?
No, I just haven't played this game in close to 10 years.
It's not too bad. From what I remember, I don't know. I seem to remember this game more or less. But then again, I played with a keyboard a little bit more than you tend to. You tend to go in on the controllers a little bit more often.
That was easy.
They are in poor condition.
They are in poor condition.
That's alright, though. So are we. It doesn't mean that we can't make it work.
We've got a lot of weapons. We're going to be selling most of them.
Yeah, these DLC weapons can maybe furnish some repairs on our gloves.
Vault 21 jumpsuit.
Okay, Cody, yeah. I'm glad that you retracted that statement, because the first thing you said was, oh, we're gonna knock some people out then beat for 3 minutes? And I was like, okay, wait, what? What is that? What do you mean by that? No, we're gonna beat them for 3 minutes after we knock them out. This is fair. Yeah, I guess we're gonna start in on what we got.
Where'd my damn boxing gloves go?
Maybe...
Here we go, here we go.
Try and just take them out and then they show up, maybe? Ah, there you go, okay.
Dear Clancy Manfist, how do you type with boxing gloves on?
Here.
How about our apparel options?
We're all very happy to get that Strong Bad reference in 2020, I'm sure.
Should we do what do you think here?
I know what
armor? I feel like this is a good look for our guy.
I think that tire looks fucking atrocious.
But everything else, the exposed torso, I think is great. I think this is our boy.
I was gonna say that. So again, the kind of player that I am, I typically go for, like, aesthetic, right?
Uh-huh.
And because of that, I almost always go for the super shitty, just, like, white t-shirt and jeans that they give you in this game.
Yeah, the ones you get from the powder gangers.
Yeah, I'm okay with this for sure. Doc Mitchell will be like, these were mine when I was a fighter. They called me the Flying Mole. There you go. I support it. Good name for him.
Speaking of good names, here's a good name for an item I just picked up.
Oh? Oh no, I forgot that was in this game.
You're gonna be hearing that a lot.
That's so awkward. It's always awkward to hear.
Yeah. Come get some.
Oh boy. Yep. We're in it now, boys. This is when we need to have a soundboard. You know what? I almost wonder if... Let me see if there are any music mods on New Vegas that I'm thinking of in particular. It would get copyright claimed immediately, but... Let me see what we can find here.
Oh yeah, it's time to... Oh, I can't type with boxing gloves on.
What the hell? What the fuck? Yo... I don't know if this was you, or if this was... Was it you that I was streaming with when I mentioned the song Drops of Jupiter?
No.
Because I'm gonna tell you what I typed into Google. I'm gonna tell you what came up, okay?
Okay.
So I typed in New Vegas EPO music mod, and the first thing that pops up is Train Drops of Jupiter official music video. Why? Why that song in particular? Let me see if we got one for Punch-Out, because that was the other thing I was going to look for. I didn't think that we were going to find anything for EPO. Maybe Punch-Out? What is going on with the world? I typed in New Vegas Punch-Out music mod, and the first thing that pops up is Crash Fish Bandicoot Subnautica.
I get that reference.
I'm glad you do.
I'm glad someone does.
It may be that maybe we'll have to install a music mod and then change the MP3s around so that they're just sound bites from Punch-Out. Brass knuckles for incapacitation, Cody says.
I mean, it punched out those mantises pretty good. How much damage are we working with here? 2. Okay.
Turns out getting punched in the face by a sack of leather is pretty tough. You don't want it to happen. I've seen a couple videos like that. Usually it doesn't end well for the people that are involved, though. I mean, I assume they got paid, but... Discombobulate, discombobulate, discombobulate. Correct. Now, my experience with New Vegas was... The reason that I tend to prefer the other games is because when you first get into Good Springs, you are very strongly suggested to go a certain way. And I usually dislike that heavily because of the onboarding process being at least 2 hours long to do it. What, as you are somebody who has played this game more than I have, what are our actual options for moving?
I don't know. Like I said, man, it's been almost 10 years.
Because, okay, well, the way that I remember these games is, like, you take the path that leads you through the Powder Gangers and down to Novak, and then you loop around, and then eventually you cross through to New Vegas, and it is that, like, right curve that they take you on that, you know, leads you through and meets the Legion for the first time, and it's like this whole thing. And that is almost always the only real way to go, because every other way is like filled with cazadors, or if you try to go straight to New Vegas, you get stopped by Deathclaws. And if you try to go anywhere else, you get stopped by invisible walls that shouldn't be there, but...
Well,
so
we'll see. We'll see what kind of troubles Clancy Manfist runs into.
I'm very curious to see... part of this is me curious to see, like, what route you're going to take, because I really want somebody who is not me to play this game, so I can just observe what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And observe we shall.
As far as I
somebody lives
remember.
here.
For now. Until we decide that we want it instead.
Locked average. Probably can't open it. I would if I could, though.
Probably use that plunger to kill somebody at some point.
I think I had a mod that turned a bunch of junk items like that into weapons. Now, does Clancy steal?
Only if he's broke.
I mean, I'm sitting on like a fortune in garbage. So for right now, we'll try and play it by the straight and narrow.
Yeah, I feel like that's the route that you take with a boxer character of this type, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, he tries his hardest to do right by his son and his family and play by the straight and narrow. And then eventually the books start being kept and taken against him. And he's forced to make some sacrifices, shall we say.
That sounds about the size of it.
And I feel like when you take that kind of character, your ultimate arc is always going to end up like, well, does he stay that way, or does he eventually
You must be the one Doc Mitchell's patching
win
up.
out in the
Way I
end
heard it, I
and
didn't think
get
you'd
his
be
girl
walking out
or
of that
win the
office.
championship or
I've
whatever
got
by
plenty of supplies for
hard
sale.
work and
Even got
determination
some
alone?
weapon mods and special ammo.
Or is he just
well
gonna
worth
keep
the
doing
caps
drugs
if you ask
and
me.
dropping
If you're hurting
fights
for
and
caps, I've also got
taking
boxes
the
of
losses?
surplus ammo in the miscellaneous section. They're not great, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah, I
don't
feel
need
like every
your bullets.
dude,
Can do.
every time that I've gone through Good Springs, again, it's just because of the way that I play it, but I have like such a disdain for all these characters that whenever I see this dude in his shop, I'm like, oh, right. I remember robbing this guy blind like every time I played this game. Chet the Cheap. Wow, thanks for the old mitts. This one has barbed wire. Yeah. We called that one the Stinger. They don't let you use them no more. I like that high.
If you're doing unarmed / melee, a kitchen knife after a KO is good DPS. We'll see.
Yeah, that's my secret boxing technique, is I knock you out and then I just stab you with a kitchen knife. Try and get up after 10 now.
Motherfucker.
I learned that at the Kamigawa boxing gym. That's what they refer to as road work in the Fallout universe. Instead of just like running back and forth and jogging, you're like running in the streets openly stabbing people.
You know what? This is controlling really badly on a mouse and keyboard, and I'm not going to have to aim anyway. I think I'm going to play this on a controller.
Go for it. If you have a controller, plug it in.
Thanks.
My
Take it
first
easy now.
memories of these games was the original Xbox with Morrowind, and then Xbox 360 for New Vegas and Fallout 3, so...
Alright, I saved the game. Let's see if it fucking crashes. If I can find the cord for this controller. Should be... Is this it?
I don't know.
Here it is.
Oh, he found it. Cool.
I found it, ladies and gentlemen. I got it.
I have with me, I don't know if I must have mentioned this to you at some point, but I finally managed to get a USB like 360 controller, right?
Yeah.
And it just has the brightest buttons you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, this immediately controls better. The sensitivity might be a bit much, though.
I'm glad you like it.
Well, the buttons responding to my inputs is kind of important.
I mean, well, yeah. Your other option is to directly interface via neural uplink. Which I both cannot wait for, but
Cheyenne,
also I don't think I'm ever going to go in
Don't worry.
on.
She won't bite unless I tell her to.
Kind of makes me want to play Super Hot. Oh, Sunny Smiles!
Not in good
I
springs,
remember
no.
you even with the
But if
volume
you're up for a little
off because
scavenging,
your
there's
voice
always the
acting was the
schoolhouse.
fucking worst
Most of
thing
what's in there
ever.
is junk, but there's this old safe that even Easy Pete wasn't able to crack with dynamite. If you want to take a shot at it.
Am
so
I
please.
alone in that?
If the
I
lock's too
remember
much for you
her
to
having
handle,
like some
reading
of the
through magazine
flattest
might give you
delivery in
edge
the
you need.
entire game,
Always happy to help someone down on their luck.
which is a shame because she was one of the most likable characters.
Until next time.
Let's
Like,
go
she's-
open that safe if we can.
Do it. She is unquestionably like nice and helpful to you. And just having to interact with her was a chore, I remember. That's right, Cody. No holds barred. I'm fully willing to put myself on in the crosshairs on this one because my memories of New Vegas are not good or kind. Like, I played it enough that I do enjoy parts of the game. I think some of the missions are super cool. I definitely have good memories of a lot of the story stuff, but like the act of playing the game, no. There's a reason that Pix is on the controls for this. And there's a reason that you'll be on the controls for the next one, too.
Yeah. Let's see here. Locksmith's reader gives me 10 lockpicking. How much do I have to start with? I'll need at least 15. I have 11.
I have to get some more.
Wouldn't
yeah.
be enough.
How much do you need it? Like 24?
25, I believe.
25.
I don't think we can open that.
Did you try punching it?
I will try punching it.
Okay, you get back to me because I want to. I feel like that would be a good way to go. It'd be a good first step to take.
I tried my best.
You did, and it didn't work this time. But oh man, the condition on these boxing gloves is like almost done.
We'll need to find someone who can repair them, or find a pair of boxing gloves to assimilate.
Can
our pair.
none of the vendors in here
Not
do that?
to my knowledge. I'll tell you what, though. If we end up in a place where the boxing gloves just break, I'll go in unarmed. I don't care.
Hi in chat says, let's be real. Anybody who loves this game is blinded by nostalgia. I both agree and disagree for different reasons.
I mean,
I
nobody likes the playing the game part. Bethesda is responsible for that being terrible.
I feel like there is definitely love to be had for this game, but it's all...
You're not gonna find it in the first couple hours.
It could... All of the things that New Vegas does especially well could be done in a text adventure game.
Which is
Or
just a
in,
dumb way of saying that it's all about the writing.
Yes. Like, the act of playing through the story is totally cool, and the choices that you get to make are definitely cool. I like the actual differences that happen because of your special stats, right? Like, having certain quest lines and optional dialogue locked off to you if you have like low or high intelligence or whatever you have. And the hi in chat says this game was actually accepted on a pen and paper based RPG. Yeah, rad. Honestly, some of the best stuff in this genre has like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is based off of pen and paper. It takes place in that White Wolf universe, and it's rad. It's broken, but so is this game.
Oh, I got a hockey mask. Should I put it on?
Yes. Only because I can't help but think about that thing with Homer Simpson.
Can't say I'm familiar.
The one where Bart
it
is
gives us
asleep
5
in his
points
bed?
and unarmed. Of course we're putting it on.
Oh, cool. So you have the situation where Bart is asleep in his bed, and Homer rushes in and just screams at him. He's like, "Hey, Bart, you want to check out my new hockey basket chainsaw?" Bart screams at the top of his lungs. Hey, Bart, I made you some brownies. You want some? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cody says in chat, part of the charm of Fallout for me is how they justify all of the science and perks on this game. How they're all things that are on the cusp of making no sense.
Good old pseudoscience.
Yeah. It is that classic, like, 50s Z-Rust vision of the future fallen into disarray. The age of science where everything was possible with a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of fuck you energy.
You ready to get potentially killed by scorpions?
Yep, totally. It's the Venture Brothers approach to science, where you never ask yourself why, you only ask yourself why not. Also, Professor Farnsworth.
Yeah.
You can't dig with boxing gloves on. What are you, stupid?
Not with that attitude. There's more than enough shit here that's not buried for me to take, though.
Can you? Well, there is a shovel here, though. I seem to remember there being a shovel by one of these graves that you could just pick up.
You might be right. I feel like I just saw it. Maybe I'm crazy. I want to say it was like sticking out of the ground.
Yeah, it should be pretty plainly obvious when you walk in. I only say this because I found it when I played, and I never pay attention to anything when I play games. Yeah, up by the open grave. By your grave. I think it was up there. Is that shiny bit, maybe? Oh, no, that's a lantern. Damn.
Maybe
I want to say...
Maybe it fell through the world.
That is a possibility. Hi in chat says, I don't remember a shovel, they had to buy one. It is also entirely possible that I played with a mod that added a shovel and didn't mention it in the patch notes.
Or maybe it's
also
all in your head.
Maybe it's all in my head. Also, maybe... You know what's also probably a very likely scenario? Is that most of the time I didn't check the grave and I just wandered off into the wasteland instead because I didn't want to start the quest. I feel like that also probably happened.
Speaking of starting the quest, it's probably about time that we do that. I'm having a hard time getting used to these buttons.
It's alright, you're still a little punch drunk from your last bout.
It's true.
Tried to get into a boxing match with that bullet to the head, didn't work so well.
I'm on my way to making a comeback, though. I'm gonna rise to the top again.
That's right, we're back to rise. Back to flow.
Can't wait for punching bottles to fail. Fucking watch me.
You can punch anything.
Hello.
If you believe hard enough,
Howdy.
you can punch anything.
What can Easy Pete do for you? Was a prospector.
Yo, what's
until
up,
I
Easy
decided
Pete?
To settle here to get away from the NCR. Now,
Why do they call you
take it
Easy Pete, Easy Pete?
Help out with the Brahmin and Bighorners. Nah. Means I poke through old buildings looking for working tech and such. Some folks just call it salvaging, but never liked the term.
Oh, man.
Way I see it, salvage means it's broken.
I-
Near worthless. Me,
You see those God rays in here?
I do.
Looking like they actually come from a proper surface?
Good money in it. Nope.
I'm looking
Had
at
a
you,
pretty good claim
76.
once, way
I got
out
you in
east
my
by the river,
sights.
but got run off by raiders. Eventually got too old to keep going out.
I want. So I'm gonna
The one in the
piggyback off of that
fancy
idea
suit
of
seemed to
waiting
be
for
calling
punching
the
bottles to
shots.
fail.
That's as much as I know.
I want
Other
for you to
folks in
punch a
town
bottle,
might know
and in that
more.
moment, your
Word of advice,
like boxing
though,
gloves just
if you
break
ever catch
because
up
the
with him,
thing is so
watch
low.
out. The
And
man's
my
got
fists just
cold
rip
eyes
out of
like a
them.
snake. Can't be trusted, I'd say.
And
Like
that's
the
like the
padding-
big character moment.
It's like the padding on the front breaks, and your fist just slips right through the front.
Exactly that.
Keep your
Drink
gun handy
soda
if you
and
go
wound
poking
starts
around some of the
closing.
abandoned
Yeah.
places around here, like the schoolhouse.
That's
Critters
like,
move in there sometimes.
That's like a very pulp, like dime store comic book kind of thing going, where you're a boxer who drinks like good old fashioned American sourced Coke to heal your wounds after your fights. Popeye, but with soda.
Yeah?
Howdy. Hi there. Sticking around Good
I
Springs
don't know
for
if this
while
was a
longer?
rumor or if this was confirmed to be a thing, but I read at some point that the whole push for Popeye to eat spinach had nothing to do with like the iron content in spinach.
Yeah, no,
and was
the reason... That's actually a myth, and the whole deal with it is that they fucking misplaced a decimal point.
I thought that it was to I thought that it was at the time to increase like the consumption of one of the only available resources they had during the time.
That's
because
also
they had
true.
like a manufacturing overflow of spinach and nobody was eating it, and they're like, well, what if we fucking put this in the comics?
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or
And
two
it
I
worked.
could show you.
From what I
Sounds like you
understand, it
need all the
worked.
help you can get after what they done to you.
I mean, you can
Meet
go
me
to
outside,
the
behind the
supermarket
saloon.
in at least here in America, and you can totally get like tin cans of spinach that have Popeye's face on them, and they're branded Popeye spinach.
It's true.
Guess what doesn't make you stronger? Eating a bunch of fucking iron. It's good for your blood, but eating a bunch of it is too bad for like a lot of reasons. Hey, here's something that I didn't know. I was told that you can hold E on those prompts, and you will just continue to drink, and that you don't have to keep pressing it. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. But
I
I
was
only had to
told
press
that-
it once.
I was told that on a forum post like 3 months ago, and I remember being angry
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the
because
fence
I
there?
remember vividly sitting
this and
in
try to hit a couple
Asher's
of 'em.
like warehouse or whatever at the beginning of the pit and just tapping E on the water to refill my health all the way back up to the top. Hell yeah. Punch it. Yeah, boy.
Everything all right?
Oh no, what? You are punch drunk.
You know what? Fuck off. I did it. I guess I have to do it the right way. But you know, the wrong way, as far as I'm concerned.
Paper Cody in chat says, you want freedom? Did you know you can totally sell good springs to the powder
Certainly
gangers?
do.
I did know
Look on the
that.
site.
But unfortunately, that also means that you have to interact with the powder gangers
Try crouching down and staying still.
instead of picking a direction and just walking,
Nice
which
shot.
is one of my favorite
Well,
things
that's
to
a
do in
start.
these types of
But I
games.
don't reckon you
That
came to
okay,
me to
so
learn
that
to
right
fight
there
sarsaparilla
is my
bottles.
biggest
Tell you
complaint
what,
about why I
I gotta
can't
go chase
specifically
geckos
get
away
into
from
New
our water
Vegas.
supply anyway. Darn
New
critters
Vegas
are
is
attracted
good
to
at
it.
having an
don't you
onboarding
come along?
process that works a lot better than the onboarding process in 3.
Suit yourself.
But
Hope this helped you some. I'm heading back
the
now.
act of
Hope I didn't miss
like
anything good
getting
on the
out of
jukebox.
Doc Mitchell's
China would
house,
never forgive
picking a
me.
cardinal direction,
me a
and
favor.
walking fucking
Trudy,
doesn't work in
she's
this
the
game,
bartender
and
up
that
at the
sucks
Prospector.
ass.
Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I
However-
didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
Yeah, like, and yeah, low leveling the Cazadors, totally. I would say some of the most frustrating, but also the most loving memories that I have of this game was straight up sneaking my way through the Deathclaw sanctuary and trying to or not the sanctuary, but like the Deathclaws on the railroad tracks, and just straight up trying to get to New Vegas through sheer tenacity. Because I'm like, no, I want to get to Vegas, dude. I want to get
If
there.
you're not gonna buy something, get out.
What the hell is your problem? What do you want?
Oh, we're looking for Ringo, are we?
He's some trader who decided he'd rather shoot than pay the toll for being in
What the
our
hell is your
territory.
problem?
He's
I
hiding
like
somewhere
that.
in town. Would serve these idiots right.
Hey, what's
if
your
me and
problem?
my guys shot the place up after we got payback on Ringo.
That's right. That was the last time
It
that we
is
will
now.
ever shoot.
Me and the rest of
That
the guys
was,
busted out of the NCR prison east of here and
That
took
moment
over.
forward.
Now we're calling the shots.
Man Fist.
None of your
Clancy
damn
Man
business.
Fist
You ought to know
looked
better
down
than to ask
upon
a man
his-
that kind of question.
his gun-stained hands and
Forget
threw
about it.
away his firearms, vowing never to pick up a rifle again
Yeah.
until the next time that he might need to.
Which will be never.
That's
You
right.
saw, I hit the button that said end tutorial.
Well,
I
you've been
didn't
causing
see
quite a stir.
anything.
Glad I finally got to meet you.
Ever.
Welcome to the
didn't
Prospector
see
Saloon.
anything. Ever.
I wasn't
I'm sure I've
looking
got something you
close
like.
enough to notice. So don't worry. Don't you worry.
Oh, this UI sure does work better on a controller. I wonder why.
I don't doubt it. I don't think I've ever played New Vegas with a controller.
Ever.
You know what? That might not be true. I think I did pick it up once on the 360. But I remember maybe I rented it or something. Because I don't remember playing it on 360 and how I got that copy. But I do remember buying the boxed PC copy from a store when you could still do that with games. I think I specifically remember getting it because it was on sale. And I was like, oh, people like this game. I'll get it. And then I played it and I was like, why is everything orange? And guess what? As years later would eventually tell me on my real trips to Vegas, everything in this game is orange because Vegas is orange as hell. When you're not on the strip, it is just... It's just so much orange. Make a bold claim and say that I don't like Vegas very much. I like visiting this Vegas way more than I like visiting real Vegas. I will say that.
Because in this Vegas, you can get away with killing people.
Totally fair.
Another satisfied customer.
Hi, in chat. I actually got this game a week before release back in 2010. Friend gave it to me on a blank disc for the 360. Yeah, man. That's awesome. I mean,
Looks like our little town got itself dragged
what
into the middle of
there are
something we
supposed to be
don't want
rules
anything to do
about
with.
what Twitch
About a week ago,
streamers
this
say
traitor,
about these
Ringo,
kinds of things,
comes into
right?
town. Survivor of an attack, he says.
I'm gonna
Bad
say
men after him.
I think
Needs
it's
a place to
awesome that
hide.
people used to be
We
able to
figured he
do
was
that
just in shock.
way
So we gave him
easier.
a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to
in like
come
a
after
keep
him.
circulating the tapes kind of way.
He's holed up at the abandoned
Obviously-
gas station up the hill.
Obviously, paying the developers and supporting it that way is great, but
Some of the others, like Sonny,
the
will
reality
probably
I
stand
think
up
is
for
that a
Ringo
lot
if
of
he
the
asks for
people who
help,
like
which
these
he
games
hasn't.
have probably bought
Personally, I
New
hope
Vegas
he sneaks out of
multiple
town one
times
night and
over the
takes
years.
the powder gangers with him.
I want to say I've probably bought this game at least
Chain
twice.
gangs, really. The NCR brought them in from
Yeah,
California
it's
to
not
work on
it's
the
not
rail
like a
lines.
doable thing anymore.
Problem
Which
is, it turns out that
kind of
giving
sucks.
convicts
Like
a bunch of
I come
dynamite and
from
blasting powder
a time
isn't the
where
best
people
idea.
made
Was
mixtapes
a
for
big
each
escape
other
not too
and
long ago.
like
Some of them stuck together so they could make
you know
trouble.
bootlegged
That's what we're dealing
CDs
with
to
now.
get live shows that you kind of couldn't get anywhere else, and sometimes that was kind of shitty quality. and
You mean
sometimes it was
murdering?
rad.
That's not our way. Even if Cobb is
And games
scum,
being a part of that
he can
was
bluster and threaten
definitely
all he
interesting.
wants.
I remember having like a big, like, you know, those zipper enclosed black sheets that you would
If you were
have
able to get
for
Ringo out of
like
this mess,
Yu-Gi-Oh
you'd have a
cards,
decent
and
reputation around
Pokemon
Good
cards,
Springs.
and
I'd even set you up with a
CDs
discount.
and things like that.
Of course, helping Ringo would also
I
make the
remember
powder
having
gangers
one of
mad,
those
and they've got a
that
lot
was
of friends
totally
out there.
filled with, yo, here's a bunch of just like 90s-ish PC games.
Be careful out there.
I also had that same thing. Dude, I have no idea how I came across this, but I remember as a kid, I had like a ton of games for DOS, of all things. And I don't remember where we got those files from. I don't remember where they went, but I do definitely remember having like a DOS directory on my computer that had everything from the Batman games to like
That's close enough. Who are
what's
you?
the other
What do
one?
you want
Was-
with me?
like Earthworm Jim was in there.
Sorry about the gun.
Stuff
you just
like
caught
that.
me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad
there was
start.
like a
Let's
Lord
say
of
we
the
start
Rings
over with a
like
friendly game of
GBA
Caravan.
style
You know how to
Final
play?
Fantasy adventure game that was absolutely horrible.
Yeah. He doesn't look very tough though.
But I
hear
remember
he's
playing
afraid
that
I'll
for
shoot
a
him
lot,
down
a
from
lot
one
of
the
time.
windows when I see him. And he's right. I'll have a much bigger problem once his
Lord of the
friends
Rings:
show
The
up.
Third Age.
There's no way I
Yeah,
can
let me
handle
look that
all
up
of them in a
because
gunfight.
I have these memories of that game.
I'm gonna lay low for
that
as long as
are,
I can, assuming
like-
the town doesn't throw me to the wolves. I've got no
Again,
chance against the gang
it comes
on
from
my
the
own.
era of games where you could totally. Oh no,
All I've
it
got
wasn't
left
the
on
Third
me are a
Age.
handful of
It
caps.
was.
But you get me out of this, and I'll
This
make
would
sure
have been
the
like
Crimson
a
Caravan pays you back.
top-down
You've got my word.
2D kind of Lord of the Rings game.
We
Like
just
it
end
kind of
up
looked
sharing
like
the same
the
grave.
Legacy of
It's just the
Goku
two of
games
us.
and earlier Final
Now,
Fantasy.
if some of the other people in town were also on board.
But it definitely came from the era of like
Start with
these are
Sunny
games
Smiles.
where if you don't pick up the
She's
right
been
item
friendlier than
in
most
your
around
adventure, you can be screwed over like 20 hours down the line or whatever because you didn't pick it up at the beginning.
Fuck
Lord of
yeah,
the Rings,
I
though.
just picked up a Boxing Times.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you did. Man, okay, so let's see. I do remember playing the Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation, Lord of the Rings games. I remember playing the movie games for sure. I played the second and third Lord of the Rings games were pretty okay from what I remember. There was that 2003 Hobbit game that didn't set the world on fire. I was always really confused as to what that was. There are a lot of these, actually. Oh, you know what? For whatever reason, these are... A lot of the Google search results that I'm getting are, yo, check out this, like, Magic the Gathering card thing, this expansion pack. Sleeping on Goofy's extremely goofy skateboarding. Man, that's coming up.
I assure you,
What
we
if-
are not.
What if I told you that I had a working copy of Disney's Extreme Skateboarding that is based off of the Tony Hawk engine? Because we have those. Huh. Was what I had maybe a... I wonder if what I had was potentially not a official game even. I don't think that's true. Lord of the Rings Volume 1. Yo, okay, I think this was it actually. Yeah. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings Volume 1. Role-playing game published by Interplay Productions. Released in 1990 for the DOS and 1991 for the Amiga and PC 98. Yep. This looks like the one. And it is, yeah, without official support for many years. Yeah, you can get this on almost anything. I remember spending a lot of time with this game and getting trapped by wolves, which is also something that I remember happening a lot in the Legacy of Goku games. Remember getting a demo for Goofy and Max skateboarding in my Apple Jacks? Yeah, that's a memory and a half, dude.
There was one of these houses that was completely unclaimed. Looking for a place for a boy to sleep here.
Sleep on the rocks like a real boxer. Or in the tub. Goofy and Max skateboarding. Dude, Goofy and Max skateboarding is also a great game.
Hello.
The thing that I remember about those games is while the skateboarding is maybe not great, the menu is fantastic in those because you just doing your leg up exercises there. The menu for those games is great because Goofy or Max would just call out whatever button you were currently hovering over, so it would be like end game options, and you could scroll past them real fast so that they would just constantly interrupt each other the whole time. Good stuff. Oh, and the option for rolling over quit was bail.
I think I just slept in Easy Pete's bed for the night.
Easy Pete looks at you like, well, how am I can't move this guy because he's gonna beat the shit out of me.
He weighs like 1,000,000 pounds.
What does this guy eat? Rocks? Whoa, pal, not in the preview. You know what? I'm really glad that demos are coming back, Cody. I mean, talking about Deadly Premonition, Destroy All Humans. Destroy All Humans totally had its first level as a demo for the PC for, I don't know, at least a month before that game came out.
It's crazy to me.
There's a lot of them on the Switch too. Demo disc for the PS2. Yeah, those were really good until they started to become nothing but sports, you know? But for a couple of years, like Xbox or PlayStation 1 to mid-cycle PlayStation 2, they had some really, really good demo discs in there.
I think I had a copy of, what was it? A demo disc for Halo 3 with my copy of Crackdown, I think it was.
Yes. That was common with Halo. Crackdown was kind of infamously the game that people only knew about because they kept buying it for the demo of Halo 3, and then they found out that the game was also great.
Hi there. Sticking around Good Springs for a while longer?
They also had
Say no more.
this is a weird poll, but I remember they had a promo for the red
That's
versus
inspiring.
blue guys
You
when
may want to
Halo
keep your
3 came
optimism
out
to yourself if you try
that
to
people
recruit
got
anyone
for
else.
like
Joe Cobb talked about
cursing
leaving us alone
Bullet
if we hand
Witch?
over Ringo, but I know his type.
And I
He and his
remember
friends will
that
come
being
after
like
the
another
town
weird
eventually.
cross
However,
promotion
between
thing.
you,
I think
me,
it
and
had to
Ringo,
do something
we
with
aren't
like
exactly
the
a force to be
Zune
reckoned
that
with.
came out at the
A
time.
lot of people around here
Anybody
look up to
remember the
Trudy.
Zune?
If you could convince Trudy to join us, some of the folks
Just
in town
me.
might decide
That's
to help
alright.
out as well. I know Easy Pete's got a stock of dynamite somewhere.
GameCube had some
and
really
Chet
good
just
demo
got a
discs
shipment
too.
of leather armor we could borrow.
I remember
Talk
having a
to them as
demo
well.
disc that had
Finally, there's a good
Metroid
chance we'll all end
Prime
up with extra holes in us.
1
So if Doc
and
Mitchell could
Animal
cough up some
Crossing
extra
on it.
stim packs, that'd be great.
which was like, those are two fantastic
I'll be
games
waiting.
in and of themselves. Bunch of those too. I don't know if it was the same one, but I think I had a demo disc for like
Welcome
Wario
back.
World or
I had
something.
hoped you wouldn't need to come see me again so soon. What can I do for you?